Hello guys and welcome back to the 2023-24 STPN NHL season previews. Today we have the New Jersey Devils, Adam's favorite, a team that is looking to take that next step, potentially even being a cup-winning team in 2024. But do they have the strength to do it? Do they have the improvement to do it? And do they have the roster to be a cup-winning team? Well, we're going to be finding that out, dissecting all their offseason to see what's next for NJ. But before we get into the preview, let's talk about today's sponsor and sponsor for all the season previews in Sports Interaction. Get in the action and make your bet with Sports Interaction. Baseball is heading to a close here of all these tight games. Bet before the game or live in and play with all your favorite teams. Head to sportsinteraction.com/STPN or download the app to get started. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. Now, after getting 112 points last year and bursting onto the scene, this New Jersey team is looking to take even bigger next steps. And to me, they have the quality to do it, especially on the forward group. This is a team that can be one of the best teams in the East. Might be one of the best teams in the East in the regular season as well, if not the best. Now, when we look at their offseason additions, the big one is Tyler Toffoli, who they acquired from the Calgary Flames. An excellent addition, likely playing on that first line. But last year, 34 goals, 73 points for 82 games, and was monstrous offensively for the Flames. This is an addition that to me changes so much about that New Jersey top six. It was already elite, now it gets even better. Then you go on to another forward addition in Thomas Nosek, likely not too big of a needle mover, but maybe a fourth line center for them. 18 points in 66 games this last year, but I wouldn't really expect too much besides that. On the defensive side, you got Colin Miller as an interesting addition, traded to New Jersey from Dallas, and as a Stars fan, he was really underrated for us this last year. 21 points in 79 games, and really quiet, but effective and solid and consistent. Maybe on a bottom pair, he could be pretty perfect there. As for the subtractions, though, they do lose quite a bit of depth. The biggest offseason subtraction is Thomas Tatar for sure. At 32 years old, he's been doing pretty solid for the Devils these last couple of years. This last season, 20 goals, 48 points in 82 games, was just so good at creating chances, being an efficient player offensively. That's going to be a big loss for them. They also lose the Yuri Shredogovich, who they acquired in the Tyler Toffoli deal, though not the biggest loss in my opinion, as more of like a third line player. You also lose Miles Wood, who also wasn't the biggest loss, at least for how he was playing in New Jersey. He was fine, he was okay, but missed a lot of chances and kind of became an enemy in the Devils fan base for pretty good reason. You also lose Damon Severson on the back end. Not a huge loss in my opinion, especially with the emergence of Luke Hughes, but 33 points in 81 games this last year as a great puck-moving D. He goes to Columbus in a division rival, which always stings just a bit. Now let's go on to the three players to watch and three players that could be difference makers for this New Jersey team if they were to win a Stanley Cup. The first player to me is Timo Meier. Of course, having a full season of Timo Meier is going to be awesome, and that'll be one of the biggest strengths for the Devils heading into next season. He wasn't unreal with the Devils, but produced a lot of chances. Got 14 points in 21 regular season games, 4 points in 11 games. Getting more used to the New Jersey system will be huge for him, but he, in my opinion, is still an elite power forward in this league. Can be that for New Jersey. Reaching that lengths will be important for him. And going on to the second player to watch, I have Dawson Mercer, super young forward here that has taken some big steps over these last couple of seasons. Could get top six time again. He's a player that though has so much silky skill, makes so many exciting plays, and a pretty underrated fantasy pick for next year too. Probably going to total a lot of points here. And then for my third player to watch, a player that we mentioned a little bit earlier, I have Luke Hughes, who comes into this Devils squad at 20 years old, or will be 20 years old when training camp goes underway. Fourth overall back in the 2021 draft, and offensively could absolutely replace Damon Severson and more immediately. Got 2 points in 2 regular season games for the Devils, 2 points in 3 playoff games. There is going to be defensive blemishes, and there is going to be times where you're confused by the IQ defensively, but then you'll be wowed by the plays he's able to make on the offensive end and how he's able to control a power play and even strength offensive time. He is going to be interesting on that maybe middle pair for the Devils, maybe a power play role immediately. Offensively, he's going to fit right at home in New Jersey. But let's look at what the Devils are rocking on the forward, defense, and goaltending, and grading every part of the team. And first, let's start with the forward group, which is absolutely the best part of the roster. You look at, of course, the younger players like Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier and Brad, and all the players around him like Meier, like Mercer, like Toffoli. Maybe Alexander Holtz takes that bigger next step. Palat on the third line is sneaky good. This forward group is dangerous. It is elite. Its top six is unreal, and its bottom six is pretty good too. I give it a straight A, though extremely close to an A+. Then going on to the defense, which is pretty good too. You got players like Jonas Siegenthaler and John Marino who are excellent defensively. Dougie Hamilton, Luke Hughes going to create havoc on offense. And hopefully we see a little bit of improvement out of players like Kevin Ball as well. Pretty solid defense, and that defense improving last year was one of the big reasons why they were so good. I give it a B+. But then you go on to the most interesting part of the roster, and that is the goaltending, with Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid being the goaltenders next up. With Vanacek fantastic in the regular season for the most part, and was kind of inconsistent in the playoffs. Akira Schmid coming up big in the playoffs. We'll see if he's able to translate in the regular season. Overall, the goaltending is solid. It's okay, but we'll see if Vitek Vanacek is the guy for them truly. I give them a B- as of right now. Could be worse, but I mean, could be a lot better still. But that leads us into the biggest question mark in my opinion, and that is Vitek Vanacek the goaltender that wins you the Stanley Cup? Of course, he is likely to be their starter, but we saw how inconsistent he was in the playoffs, and even inconsistent at times in the regular season. He's a player that's had great moments and great stretches with the Devils, but hasn't really been able to put it all together yet, which is okay since last year was one of his first few years being a starter, but we'll see if that improvement happens this next year. If he can stay a little bit more consistent, have a little bit of a better playoffs, then that's one of the biggest question marks erased for New Jersey. Regular season wise though, they're going to be dominant no matter what. Nice to them getting first in the Metro Division, being around 112 to 115 points. This is a dynamic roster and it is an exciting one. It's going to dominate the NHL, not just this year, next year, but really for the next decade. Let us know down below though, how good do you see the Devils doing, especially in the Metro? Do you see them being better than teams like Carolina and teams like New York? Let us know all your thoughts down below. Are they a Stanley Cup winning team as well? Let us know everything. And of course, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and make sure you share the video with all the hockey fans, all the Devils fans you guys know online. Thank you guys so much for supporting so far. 32 teams in 32 days. And next up, we have the New York teams next up, which will be really fun to talk about. We'll see you then. Have a great day, drink some water, and goodbye.